Hey, this is Joe Cox with Life Made Simple. When you are raised by narcissists, what happens is your life becomes damage control. You're constantly trying to figure out what's going on and what the truth is. We come to believe there's a right and a wrong. I believe there's either truth or it's not. So what we want to do is we want to help you understand when you grow up with narcissistic parents, these parents are supposed to be guiding you. These parents are supposed to be giving you a stable structure to where you can develop. If you haven't developed at 18 years old by the time you leave home, then the choices in your life are not going to be wise choices. You're going to be operating from damage control. And I would believe that majority of all kids today that leave home at 18 are operating from some type of damage control. Because what we do when we do that is we're actually operating from emotions and feelings versus uh, critical thinking skills. Critical thinking skills are where you stop and you're able to analyze, but you need to have some type of structure, some type of stabilized structure in your life. Narcissistic parents want to destabilize you. They want to knock you off your balance anytime you get a chance. If you start working towards a goal and you want them to be proud of you and you expect them to be proud of you and you say, look at what I've done, and they're going to do nothing but attack it, undermine it, what does that do to your spirit? It crushes that will to live, that spirit within you that causes you to want to go out and thrive in life. There is no reason that a narcissistic, or any parent for that matter, there is never a reason that a parent has for ever saying negative things that attack the spirit of a child. So this is where we are in this life today. You see it so often that parents are quick to say, no, 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 you can't do that. But the reason is because they haven't set a structure. They haven't set a stable structure for the kid to start learning how to analyze it on their own. If we have the ability to grow up and we have ability to analyze and rationalize and get into critical thinking skills, we ought to be out of that by 16 years old. And by that way, 16, 17, 18 years old, we ought to be making really wise decisions. I, Most people from a narcissistic background, they've had to mature very fast. They almost feel like they're an old soul that they've had. I had to be an adult by the time I was 12 years old, making adult decisions. I wasn't allowed to do after school sports, band, or anything like that. I was babysitting and doing the chores and washing the dishes and cutting the grass. And I felt pretty much more like a slave to my family than I did their child. And so at 16 years old, when my mother remarried, I left home. I moved in with my grandmother into a cinder block basement with no heat and air. And I'm like, anything is better than coming up in that toxic world. My mother was a screamer, and it just used to just knock my soul off. And when she would scream, it would be like she would be stabbing you with the sword of her tongue that would go right through your soul. And when she was all done, you didn't have any energy. You didn't have any fight left. I couldn't believe that my mother, looking back now, I can say this. I can't believe that my mother saw a 12-year-old child as such a threat. Think about that for a minute. That a parent will go after a child with such vengeance that it's like we did the worst possible thing. And if you look back and you say, hey, wait a minute, I was just a child. I wanted love. This is the person that was supposed to give me security and love, and you're attacking me? Nothing. So when I grew up, nothing made sense to me. Nothing made, it, I would sit there and try to figure out why my mother was mad at me. Well, of course, today I realize that narcissistic parents have no love for themselves. So I had this impression that, they had such love and such confidence in themselves, and I was just a nobody. When in fact, remember this is key, is that strong people strengthen other people with encouragement. Weak people tear down other people with discouragement. So any narcissistic parent, I don't believe there's such thing as a positive narcissistic parent. They're all this self-love. I've heard that some doctors have said that some narcissists have extreme self-love. I don't think that to be true, because people with love don't tear other people down, period. You can't. Because when you operate from love, when you operate from the spirit, you have no ego. You have no uh, reason to attack someone. So this is what this video is about, is helping you understand that you've come from life, you are doing damage control, and what you want to do is get from the damage control and get your stability. So what happens a lot to a lot of kids, and you probably, now that if you're older, 30s, 40s, 50s, you probably look back and you immediately went into a relationship, or you went into something to try to find that stability through someone else. And chances are you may have married another narcissist, because we attract what we are, not what we want. And I never understood that. I'm like, I'm sitting there trying to live my life, but the same life seems to be following me. I can't seem to break out of this toxic life. And it wasn't until I realized, um, now that I'm married to the love of my life, and she's another empath, much like me, and we are so loving to each other, that's what you want. If you're an empath, marry an empath, because man, you guys will connect to an amazing level. And so what an empath is basically raising your consciousness level, and that's what you want to do. And that is done through living from the heart, living from the spirit, living from the soul. Okay? Narcissists, they are everything opposite that. They are living in the mind. They are living of the flesh. They are living from they're of the world, and whereas people living from the spirit are in the world. So you want to stay away from that ego. That ego is the one that's self-destructive. You don't believe me? Look at any narcissist. They will destroy themselves while they're attempting to destroy you. Think about that. My two parents were so hell-bent, they'll destroy themselves. And I've seen everybody. I've seen stalking situations. I've seen all kinds of stuff where the people just lose it. And what we want to do, we want to get that energy out of our life. We want to get to a better place. We want to get to self-love. If this is another thing too, is a lot of people can't seem to manifest in their life. They say, hey, I want to manifest this and that. But I put out a book to help show how manifesting actually works, and that's becoming a whole person. The goal of manifesting is manifesting from who you are. So if we feel broken, we're out of balance, and we're manifesting, that's what we're going to attract. We attract what we are. So you've got to become what you want. Does that make sense? So we attract what we are, not what we want. So if we want something, we need to become that person. That way we attract what we are, if that makes sense. But in the book, Life Made Simple, I break it down. It's we've got to find our wholeness in mind, body, and spirit. And I break down what the difference is of getting richness in your life. So many people are out looking for money, 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 thinking that that's going to fix them. I did that. I became a millionaire at 35 years old. And instead of being happy, I was attacked more than ever from my own narcissistic family and others. And I just fell into dark night of the soul. And I just about didn't come out. I just about didn't make it. I had the letters written several times. But you know what? I'm like, I kept hearing this voice saying, your job's not done. You know, there's a purpose behind your life, but you can't see it yet. And I can be a witness today saying that, hey, everybody has a reason here, and you have a reason and a purpose, and it may be helping others get through it once you have gotten through it and you've done your healing. But now that I'm at a great place, I feel like we can do these videos and we can help you guys go to the next level. We've got to get out of that living in a reactive way. We've got to live in a proactive manner. Take control of your life. If you're in high school, I suggest, hey, just focus on yourself. Don't even worry about dating much right now. Just focus on yourself. Make sure, because that way you're going to attract the person you want. I did nothing but, when I started dating, I did nothing but attract narcissistic women and didn't even realize that's what I was doing. I've got so many stories I can tell you guys, but that's the advantage on having all this experience. But I want to save you guys from all the heartaches that I've been through. Hopefully that this information has helped you out today. This is Joe Cox with Life Made Simple, living in a narcissistic world. We're going to get you through it. From my heart to yours, I give you nothing but gratitude. Like and subscribe if you feel like I've earned it. Blessings. Bye-bye.